Said it once, I'll say it again. We got us a Trump. Winning. Canada, on the other hand, you've got this little boy named Justin Trudeau, who's part of the club, just doing as he's told. And this is an interesting stat for Canadians. CBC Canada, the price of fake news. Quote, there is no place in a democracy for a government-funded media. That quote's from a guy named Rick Fushi. Fush you or fush me. The article tells it all. They have 269,000 watchers, this news channel, out of 36 million Canadians. Which, by the way, their yearly tab is $1.2 billion to keep that thing running. Plus whatever their share is of the slush fund Mr. Trudeau has provided to make sure they towed the party line during the election. Their ad earnings, remember, $1.2 billion to keep this thing going, yearly tab. Make sure my throat's clear on this. Because in case you think I've said a wrong number. Their ad earnings, which is typically what news agencies, broadcasters use to keep themselves afloat, was a whopping $58 million. $1.2 billion to keep them afloat. They pull in $58 million. If you remove their umbilical cord, they die. Last but most important, they are a Liberal Party propaganda arm. Canadians are due a day of reckoning with the CBC whorehouse. Again, we've got MSNBC, we've got CBS, we've got ABC, we've got CNN. Well, all these choices. No, you got choices, man. You got choices. And they all promote the same leftist liberal trash too. Isn't that amazing? Some quotes. The CBC receives a $1.2 billion a year handout by the federal government funded by Canadian taxpayers. Last year, they earned a whopping $58 million in advertising revenue, down, by the way, from the $114 million in 2014 that they got. Now they are whining that they have to cut 35 jobs in Toronto because of declining revenues. Does that mean those 35 employees are raking in $1.6 million a year? Or, what does that mean? And what the heck is the $1.2 billion being spent on? It's certainly not content or fair, equal, unbiased reporting. They claim they are the state broadcaster and want to reach out to all Canadians. Yet they are nothing but a liberal propaganda machine. There are 36 million people living in Canada, and the CBC's viewership in 2019, like CNN, is in the effing dumps, down to 269,000 viewers. That means that only 0.0074% of Canadians care to listen or watch their liberal drivel. Interesting to note that 2014 was the last year they had an advertising revenue boom. It was in 2015 that the CBC hounded Mike Duffy. Their trucks parked outside the courthouse. They followed Duffy and our ex-Prime Minister Stephen Harper, along with Nigel Wright, like rabid, starving dogs after a bone. The case ended up being a nothing burger story, all for their agenda of getting rid of Stephen Harper, who had cut their taxpayer funding by $200 million. Okay, now you guys got a Trudeau. Or Trudeau. Some say you Trudeau, some say you Trudeau. And your jobs numbers just came out. Your other stats just came out, economic stats. They suck. Right after the hot mic slip-up of Justin Trudeau, bad-mouthing Trump, our numbers come out, epic. Canada, like the rest of the world, suck. Because they're all part of the globalist agenda. And there's no room for profits for hardworking taxpayers. Nope. They need all that money to go back into their coffers. Canada's no different. Matter of fact, I got a video to do here in a minute about Japan. Japan needs another bailout. Japan needs another bailout. Shocking, shocking, I know. It is time for the government to pull off funding from the CBC, and after they do that, the over $500 million in tax dollars that Justin Trudeau promised to liberal-friendly media needs to be rescinded. I'll add another one for you guys. The donations Justin has been giving the Clinton Foundation. You may want to take a peek at that too. Yeah, I'm living in a pipe dream, he says. Like that's ever going to happen with this government. Source, rightov49.ca, whatever. So I will link this, of course, like I usually do, and I will be on to the next video. Take care.